The pen tool has always been a scary tool because it's difficult for newbies or beginners to really follow along. Personally, I can remember back in the days while still a beginner, how I struggled to manipulate the pen tool to get desired results. But most definitely, the pen tool is a fully loaded tool and one of my favorites because of its overwhelming abilities. Of course, you can create simple shapes as well as complex curved shapes and lines. You can also use it to make a selection out of an image and lots more, as you will discover together in our tutorial today. So sit back and grab a cup of coffee as we go on a joyride to the land of the mysterious pen tool. If you are new to my channel, I'm by name Victor. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. So without further ado, let's begin our journey. So personally, I discovered that the pen tool is manipulated by, let's say, three demons or three special keys on the keyboard, which are the Shift key, the Alt key, and the Control key. So let's look at an instance of the manipulative structure of the Shift key on the pen tool. So the pen tool can be activated by pressing P on the keyboard, or we can just go to the tools bar and click on the pen tool easily. So let's look at how the pen tool can be easily influenced by the Shift key. This is the pen tool. Let's create a node. I do that by clicking on the layer. Then let's create another node, but let's do that by holding down the Shift key. So I hold down the Shift key, and if you notice, there's this straight line on the layer, and the Shift key can be used, to create straight lines. You can use the Shift key just by holding the Shift key and touching the nodes, touching the points on the layer. You can easily create straight lines, very straight lines with the pen tool. So let's create maybe a box. I hold down the Shift key again. So I'm still going to hold down the Shift key again. And now I'm going to make another straight line. Then I'll join it with this to conclude. So you can discover we have created, not really a perfect rectangle actually, but it's just to elaborate on how you can use the Shift key to manipulate the pen tool. So let's move to the manipulative influence of the Control key on the pen tool. So now let's assume that we want to adjust this rectangle. We want to just change the way it looks, and you'll be like, how? Okay, is it just to make another one or to build another rectangle from scratch? No, there's a way of editing this rectangle. You can notice that there are 4 points on this rectangle, so I can easily hold down the Control key, and you can notice it's changed from the normal pen tool to a little triangular tool or a little arrow tool, or you can look at it on the screen. So I've hold down the Control key, so I'm just going to click on this. You can discover that there's this black point or this gray marking to just indicate that okay, something has been activated or something has been toggled on. So if you notice, it's different from the rest of the nodes. So all I'm going to do is to click and drag, just click and drag to just play with it. Ctrl Z to create any dimension of shape I want, or any size. You can see I'm just playing with it while still holding down the Control key. So you can still come and edit your shape, edit your part or whatever you can call it after making. This is just easy. You can see how the Control key. So I can do that with the other points. You can notice too, there's this selection, this gray marking. So same thing, adjust. Same thing with this, to click, adjust while still holding the Control key. So let's analyze how the Alt key can influence the pen tool to give us our desired results. We have seen thus far how the Shift key can help us get our progress or our outcome. Same thing as the control key. So now let's try the alt key. So I'm just going to do that by holding down the alt key on the keyboard. If you noticed, whilst holding down the alt key, nothing has really happened. The pointer still remains the same, unlike while doing that with the control key. But now let's hold down the alt key and bring it to a node. You can see there's this indication that okay, something is happening. You can see the pointer has changed its look. We are having a different look. We're having a different pointer now, still holding down the alt key. So now let's hold down the alt key, click and drag, very softly. Click and drag. We have these curved edges. You can see we have these curved edges. So now let's see how we can combine these three keys together to do what we want. So now let's say okay, we have this shape and we want to still adjust it. And we'll be like, okay, how do we still do it? So now we can come over here with the control key. Let's say I want to adjust this point. You can come over here with the control key, hold down the control. You can see the pointer has changed. Then you can see click on it. Then you can drag to any dimension you want or any area you want. You can see same thing, hold down the control key too. So this is how just knowing these three keys has been a lifesaver for me. Same thing I can do with these other aspects. Hold down the alt key to toggle on the curve aspect of the pen tool. Same thing like that. And you can see it's really a lifesaver if I can apply the knowledge of these three keys together. So we are going to make a very quick and rough selection. The aim of this is to make sure you know how these three keys, or let's say demons like we referred to them initially, can effectively manipulate the pen tool in giving us our desired outcomes or results. So now let's bring an image into our artboard or into our layer. So I'm going to drop my pen tool and clear my layer of this disgusting shape. Okay, let's bring in our image, place embedded. Which one will I select? Okay, let's pick food one. Okay, I hope some of us are not salivating. So let's assume we want to take off the chicken from the food. Let's steal the chicken out of this food. We can easily do that with the pen tool. Let's make a rough selection, something not really precise. It's just to expose the tricks of the pen tool to you. None of all these things might really make sense to you if you're just a beginner. So I'm just trying to emphasize on what I've taught earlier. So I'm going to bring the pen tool from the tools bar, then click on these points, click also on this point and drag a bit. So if you notice, while clicking on it and dragging, it's turning to a curve. Okay, then hold down the alt key to change the direction. This is the direction. Always take note of this, these lines, these double lines here. This is for the other side, this place. So now let's continue with our selection. So click on this, then drag a bit to curve. Then same thing, click, drag to curve. Same thing. So please, let's take off this annoying fill color. All right. Okay, click on this, like that. So let's make something rough. So I'm just trying to show us how we can use the alt key and the shift key with the control key just to manipulate our pen tool. So okay, let's assume that we don't like these points. So you can see I can easily click on this node, or Ctrl Z, click on this node with the control key. So while holding down the control key, you can discover that these two lines popped up. So we can just use the alt key to either influence them, you can see, to adjust them. Let's say I want to adjust the curves, same thing. So that's how it's very easy to use the pen tool. I don't really see the complexity people really, I don't know, but it's just okay knowing the tricks and how to use it. So same thing with this node. Let's say I want to adjust this. Just hold down the control key. You can see, or whatever point we hold down, you can see there will be, these two lines popping out in both directions or opposite directions. So you can easily manipulate and easily adjust. Same thing, you can see, just to make our selection look a little bit better. So I think this is okay for me. I don't really want something precise and accurate. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click on this selection. Then you can see make selection. Right click on the picture rather, or the chicken rather, then make selection, then click on OK. So next thing I'm going to do is to go to the select, click on select and mask. If you want any adjustments, then I will be making a tutorial maybe subsequently or some other time, okay, on how to extract images from background, then make a very fine extraction. But now we'll just go straight to extracting. So this is selection to new layer. Okay, we're forgetting something. Let's ensure to click on the fold layer. Click on the fold layer, then go back to the select, then go back to our select and mask, then okay, output to selection. You can see different, there's a drop down, there's selection, layer, mask, new layer. So I'm going to click on new layer, then okay. So our output should go to a new layer. So you can see this is what we have done. We have stolen our chicken, and you can see it's very easy with the pen tool. For most of us complaining about the pen tool, I believe this tutorial might have solved our problems. So this is it for today. Thanks for watching. I'm really grateful. Please don't forget to leave all questions in the comment section. I will answer to each and every one of them. Also, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up for me if you like my video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell if you are new to my channel. Thank you. See you in my next video.